All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle something we've all felt, but we don't really like to talk about it much. It's the fear of failure. That little voice, that silent saboteur that can really hold you back. So let's get right into it. Yeah? Sound familiar? You know that feeling, right? That little pit in your stomach just before you're about to do something big, something new. It's that nagging voice in your head whispering all the worst-case scenarios. Man, we have all been there. But here's the thing. This isn't just some random mood or a passing thought. It's actually a really powerful force. It's this silent saboteur that can quietly and pretty effectively take apart your biggest dreams, your career goals, even that passion project you've been thinking about for years. Okay, so why? Why is this feeling so darn powerful? Where does it even come from? Well, to figure that out, we've got to dive into our own psychology and take a look at what's actually going on inside our brains when we face the idea of, messing up. So researchers basically define it like this. It's an emotional and a mental reaction to the stress of possibly failing. It's all about anticipating these negative outcomes. And here's the craziest part. They don't even have to be real. It's usually just your own brain playing director for its own worst-case scenario blockbuster film. So here's a wild thought. A big part of this fear is because, well, our brains are kind of running on some seriously old software. I mean, they're still wired for a time when failure was literally a matter of life or death. If you failed on a hunt back then, you didn't eat. Now, bombing a job interview isn't going to kill you. But our brains, they still smash that same ancient panic button. But it's not just our caveman brains, right? Our modern world just loves to pile on top of it. Maybe a bad experience from your past, like getting laughed at in class, can leave a mark. And then there's the massive pressure from social media, where we're all comparing our messy, real lives to somebody else's perfect highlight reel. This all feeds into this need for flawless perfectionism, which, let's be honest, is completely impossible. Okay, so this is where it gets serious, because this isn't just about feeling a little nervous. When we let this fear just run the show, it comes with a very, very real cost. A cost to our potential and, honestly, to our own well-being. I think this is the perfect way to picture it. Fear literally puts a giant padlock on your potential. It locks you out from taking the kind of healthy risks you need to take to grow. It stops you from going after new opportunities, and it keeps you playing it safe, stuck right inside your comfort zone. So what does that actually look like in real life? Well, for one, it completely tanks your confidence. It gets you thinking, I'm just not good enough. It triggers that awful performance anxiety before a big meeting. It makes you dodge chances you know you should take, like not applying for that promotion. And over time, all that constant worry, it just leads straight to burnout. And hey, this isn't just a feeling or a theory, we've got data. A study from Cambridge University looked at students, and the results were pretty shocking. They found that the students with a high fear of failure were way less likely to join creative clubs or take on new projects, even when they were totally qualified. The fear itself just stopped them from even trying. Okay, I know that all sounds a little heavy. But here comes the good news, and it's really good news. You can absolutely fight back. You are not powerless here. You can learn to manage this fear and maybe even turn it into fuel. So let's talk about the battle plan. Here are your 4 key moves. First, you got to change your mindset. Failure is not a dead end. It's just a detour that gives you some useful info. 2, take baby steps. Seriously. Small wins are what build up that real, solid confidence. 3, focus on progress, not perfection. Getting 1% better is still a win. And last, and this one's huge, talk to yourself like you talk to a friend. Be your own hype squad. Let's just double-click on that last one, because it's so, so important. It really is about consciously swapping out that negative voice in your head, the one that says, I can't do this, for a kinder one that says, you know what, I'm going to give it my best shot and just see what I learn. That tiny shift, I'm telling you, it's an absolute game changer. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about theory. This is about putting a plan into action. And that starts with taking one single step forward. And if you need a little dose of inspiration for that first step, just remember this guy, Thomas Edison. He didn't see his 1,000 attempts as failures. He saw them as learning 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb. That simple reframe, seeing failure as just part of the process, that's a lesson for all of us. So I want to leave you with this thought. The fear of failure is kind of like the monster under your bed. It feels huge, it feels terrifying, right up until you shine a light on it. Then you realize, it's not so big after all. So my question for you is, what's one tiny step you can take this week to face down a fear? Just one. You've got this.